Good day. I am me. Hopefully you are you. If not, you will be. This video is more on what it is to be chosen, starseed, earth angel, whatever you want to call it. We're marked, even though that we are chosen by the God of the Most High. We also have to choose to accept the path that has to be walked by us. So this is the part of where, many are called but few are chosen. That translates into everybody is actually called because you are a child of the God of the Most High. And He chooses who He chooses by His choosing, because He doesn't need anybody's permission to do whatever He does or wants to do. But because He gave us free will, He doesn't interfere with it. So even though we're chosen, we still have to choose to walk the path. Accept the mission, walk through the door. But I'm sure there's some that said yes, and then as it started to unfold and as things, I'm sure there's probably been a lot that have backed out and said no, they don't want to do it no more because they just didn't want to go through it, because it is a very painful path that crushes most. Everybody wants what we carry, but what we carry is so heavy that it would just it would crush most, almost all. Would just it would in a sense kill them, for a better lack of a word. But to give you some examples of people that are chosen, first and foremost is the Lord that came here in physical body. He was chosen to do a very specific purpose for everyone. So just to wrap your head around that, everything that He had to go through, the way He lived life and the way He traveled all the time, was never set in one place to say this is, he was never in a place of comfortability. He was, I'm not saying that there wasn't times that He wasn't comfortable and enjoyed Himself, and I'm not saying that, but to say like how you go to your home every day and get to go to the same bed, be around the same people, that's what they call comfortable, meaning you're in a routine, a repetitive constant habits is what they are. It's repetitive. That's what you call comfortable. And then when you try to change a part of that, the brain says, no, we don't know this. This is not safe. Go back to doing what you was doing. We were safe there. This is what it all translates into. But some of the others, look at Job, because he told Satan of how good of a servant he was chosen, and look at what he went through, but he stayed the path, and look at what the outcome was. So how many people a lot of people say, yeah, I'll do that until real gets real, crap hits the fan, and stuff really starts to happen, and a lot of people like to talk, but walking the walk is completely different. than talking the talk. But to go back to kind of like just like talking about the Lord, He did what He did for everybody, irregardless of who you were, what you done, what you thought, what you believed, anything. Laid it down for them too. Now there's a lot of people that, yeah, I'm sure you would stand up and give your life for your children, even your wife, or maybe even some family members and whatnot. But are you gonna stand up and lay your life down for somebody that that you hold that's not worthy by whatever your standard or means is? You don't know the person, you don't know their situation, you don't know the circumstances, you don't know what the causes were. There's a lot that you don't know when you look at somebody, and you're always, I'm not saying everybody does, because not everybody does, but most people judge by appearance, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you walk, the car you drive, where you live, the friends you have, the music you listen to, the shows that you watch, or just what you choose to do for extracurricular activities. Or I mean, there's so many factors that people look at to judge another person. How much money you have. I mean, just the way you grew up, your family, your all that. People are constantly, but it's their fault because they chose to do that way. But it's not their fault because they were taught to be that way. So there's a twofold factor to a lot of that. But there's a lot of other chosens. Look at Abraham, what he asked Abraham to do. He asked him to sacrifice his own son, which he wasn't going to let him, but he just wanted to. That was all a depiction of what God was doing for us in sacrificing his son. Trust me, we'll get into more in depth of the name and how it all breaks down and everything. If you're a religious person and you're watching my videos, following my channel, subscriber, whatever, pretty much everybody, you got to forget everything that you ever been taught by somebody else, because you just took for granted that they had your best interest at heart and was teaching you correctly everything. I went through all this myself. There's a lot of undoing, unpacking, unlearning, relearning, a lot of pain, hurt, tears, gut punches, stinging. Yeah, there's just, it's going to be a journey. But, there's, look at what Jacob had to go through and what his own family did to him. They was going to kill him, but then they sold him into what they tried to tell us what slavery is, but it was actually imprisoned, and then ended up being in charge of so much, because he stayed the course, stayed the path. But they're just things that we go through that we're not asking to go through, to experience. But they are not only for our benefit, they are to benefit others. And these are part of the reasons why we are chosen, because we are selfless, we are non-judgmental, we are unconditionally loving, caring, kind, gentle, understanding, because we've been through so many things, and we are to be guiding lights to help others to grow, to be better, do better, to raise the whole consciousness and collective of spirituality, the vibrational frequency, because we are all energy. The real you is not the body that you can see and touch, and all that, the five basic senses. Not that those don't play factors, but that's not the real you. The real you never dies. But yeah, so it's part of it is because he knows, because he looks at everybody's heart, and he just gave me, that's also part of why your part is what your part is, because he knew if he gave you more, you would do like a lot of others that have been doing in this in earth, and taking advantage of people in the way that we were taught, what we were taught, to be obedient, to fall in line, to be a good slave, to not ask questions, to not be a free thinker, to not seek answers for yourself, to all these things that I've been speaking on and touching on. But you have powers and abilities and gifts and talents. We all do. And like I said in the other video, the one right before this one, I'm speaking about just being unchosen. Everybody has a part to play. Be happy with your part. Do your part to the best of your ability, and you will find that your life will get so much easier. Things will come so much freer. They will just flow to you. You won't have to stress and labor and work so hard to get them. This is part of the purpose of the will of the Father, is for you to do your part of the purpose in the will, and life will just become so much better. But part of it's got to be, you got to change the perception of your focus and the way that you think, so that you see things differently, the way you speak, so you talk differently, so you act differently, so your habits become different. All these things play factors into why your life is the way that it is. But one of the biggest parts is the speech, the things you speak. I'm not saying that is what will come, but if you keep speaking the same things over and over and over, eventually the universe says, okay, well, that's what they say that their life is, and that's the way it works for them, so that's what they align for you. So if you keep speaking negative things, because you got to think about this, every word you've ever said, you have always heard. So no matter how many different people you're talking to, or that you have talked to, 100% of the time you are always talking to yourself, because you hear every word you say. So I don't care if you're talking bad to this person and then you talk good to this person, it doesn't matter. You're still always talking to yourself, even though these were two different people, because you're telling your brain what to think, just like your eyes are windows to receive, just like with whatever you watch, whether it's on a device or television, which is tell the vision. And what do they have on there? Programs. So they, tell the vision what to program the brain to think. This is the truth of why it's called what it's called. And it's all so basic and simple and right in front of your face that most people just overlook it and discard it. There's a lot of hints and secrets they reveal in movies, shows, everything, but you're too busy watching the show instead of catching the message, that you just missed the message. And but it's the same thing with music. Music affects your mood. because of the vibrational frequency of instruments and the way they sound, and and then the words that they're speaking. That's why you connect with a song, because it touches an experience in your life that you had. So it makes you feel that emotion again. And it's just the way the things really truly work by design. So, but yeah, it's I'm grateful that I kept the course, stayed the path, because I do want better for everybody. I don't want all these benefits to just be like how a lot of the elites have been, just hoarding and storing up treasures for themselves. But what they really don't know is the ones that have been doing it manipulatively and deceptively, they are storing it up for the great wealth transfer that is happening from right now to the next 15 to 20 years. A great wealth transfer is going to happen. And all them people that did it wrong for their own benefit, being greedy and taking advantage of so many people to make money, to live in a luxury of wealth, while they scrape by on the peanuts that they were given for all the labor that they did for them to reap all the rewards for. All them people that, yeah, it's going to be corrected, because they saved up all that to be given to people. I'm not saying that I'm one of them, but I know that I have great things coming to me. But it's not for me to just hoard and be selfish with, because I'm not that kind of person. I want to fix things, make things right, make things better for everybody, because everything is here for all of us, not for just a small 1% group of people to hoard everything. No. That's not why we was given all this, and to have this life of opportunity. And so, but I am one of the people that is bringing the change about in spreading the truth. And so that's part of what it means to be chosen, why the ones that were chosen because of how we are, not who we are. And it's because of whose we are. But you are his also, because he gave you life. So you are his child too, whether you want to believe him and choose him, seek him, follow him or not. That's your choice. Nobody can make that decision for you but you. Just like nobody can change you but you. It's just the way things work. But yeah, so hopefully this helped clarify a little bit more of a chosen, a star seed, an earth angel, whatever you want to call us. But we are out here. We are not. This is the first time that I'm really putting this out and letting people know that I am who I am, because I say I am. But it's not just because I say I am, because he chose me. I am that I am. And I'm just stepping in to the power that he gave me, and the truth of who I really am, and why I've had to experience and been attacked like I have most of my life, and why people are attracted to me, good and bad, why animals are attracted to me, why nature is the way that it is for me, and because I have a different level of appreciation and respect and understanding. But it's all fed to me from the Father, God, Source, Energy, Universe, whatever. But eventually we'll get to the whole name part, because that's going to be one of the hardest pills to swallow when I bring about the truth, all that. But so I'm just trying to meet you where you're at. because I know you can't meet me where I'm at this moment, because I'm not saying that I'm better or I'm ahead of you, because I'm turning around with a hand out, reaching out to you, trying to get you to where I am at, because that's what I want. It's part of why I was chosen. But yeah, anyway, so watch my videos as many times as you need to. I just ask that you be respectful of one another in comments, not argue. Talk it out. Don't fight it out. Fighting solves nothing, because you can't reach nobody when they're angry, they're mad, or they, sometimes you just have to tell people something and then give them some time to reflect on it, and then they come around to whatever you were saying, and then you got to meet people where they're at. This is one of the, see what I mean about the animals? See the bird there coming over here to check me out all the time. Even where I stay, they come and sit on the rail and just watch me through the window, like I'm something for them spectacular to watch. You know what I mean? And it just makes me think about so many people out there go bird watching, and then here I got birds watching me. But it's the thing that I carry from being chosen. Like I'm saying, they can see that, they can sense it, they can feel it, they know, because they just know that they don't have to worry about anything with me. I'm not here to harm them. I'm not here to hurt them, run them off. But yeah, so it's and I don't know if you can hear the birds, but since I started talking about it, the birds started chirping. So there's your confirmation, But yeah, so hopefully, I just hope that you guys are getting this. Like I said, everything is the choices are your decisions to make, and what you choose is up to you. So I'm just trying to guide you to the truth, to the light, so that you can be free, so that you can know what real love feels like, to know what real peace feels like, to know what it feels like to be filled with joy, and not have to try to find it in things that don't carry these things. Like a kid, when he gets the new toy, he's filled with joy and happy and loves it and everything for a short period of time, plays with it every day, and then within like a month, the next thing you know, the toy is sitting on the shelf because it no longer carries the same kind of happiness and joy and satisfaction, as opposed to the truth, where he says the truth will set you free. So this is what I'm sharing with you, the truth. It's not like you go to the world's court system and you tell the truth and they set you free. Everybody knows that they don't do that. They still punish you for something that I don't want to get too much into that, because that's a whole another video in its own. But this is what he really means by the truth will set you free. To know the truth of how everything works, operates, and what everything is, and you will be free, because you'll quit chasing things, looking for joy, peace, love, whether it's in material things or people or relationships, or it's all in here. It's all already in you. He that is in you is greater than everything that is out here in the world. So, but yeah, anyway, it's a nice, beautiful day here today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous day wherever you're at. But yeah, and I'm praying for you. I don't care if you believe that I do or not, but I do. And I don't care who you are, where you're at, what you think, what you believe, what you've done, what you're not doing, what you won't stop doing, what you should be doing. I don't care. I still pray for you and hope that you see the Father's light, hear His voice, He reveals Himself to you, and that you know, realize that He's already given you grace, mercy, unconditional love, peace, joy, rest, comfort, so much. I mean, because if you woke up and you got another day, you are blessed. And there are so many things that you probably already took for granted. Because if you can go about your day like you normally do every day, just think of all the things that you're already doing, that you don't just say, hey, thank you, that I can still continue to do what I'm doing. And you can't get mad at Him for choices that you make either, because He doesn't make the choices for you. He never will. Just like He won't make you choose Him, because it's not what He wants. He wants you to choose what you want. So you have to figure out who you are, so then you start making the right choices for your own self in your own life. And I promise you, things will start to change drastically. Things will just get so much better, so much easier. You'll be so much happier. Things that used to bother you won't bother you. It's just, this place is so beautiful. It's all in your perception of focus and what you focus on. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, I am chosen. I am a star seed. I am an earth angel. I am marked by the God of the Most High. I haven't always known this, I've always known it, but I haven't always remembered it. But I am finally coming into remembrance and stepping into it and doing what I was chose to do. Really, I was always doing what I was chose to do. I just had to learn I had to go through a lot. We'll get to that on another video one day. Anyway, this video is getting pretty long. I just happened to look at it. So, yeah. Peace, love, and light. Shalom.